All right, let's run through just the standard how to create workflow campaigns in Pitchit. And we're gonna do one that's just a classic form fill to Pitchit integration. Now I'm gonna break down the science of a really solid prompt, which is critical to getting the AI agent engaged with your lead. And so here's a really nice template that I like. Pretty simple greeting, and then a very straightforward question. This could either be a yes or no question, or in this case, I'm asking just for a day or time. And the reason you want to start with that is you want a very easy question for them to answer. Yes or no, or morning, call me in the afternoon. You'll get a bunch of people who say, call me now. This is a really nice prompt for the lead. The second one is for people who don't actually want to necessarily engage in a chat experience. So they don't want to reply to you. They'd rather just book on their own. They've already convinced themselves that this is the right product for them, and they don't necessarily want a phone call. They're someone who likes a calendar and a Zoom link or a Microsoft Teams meeting. And that's definitely going to be the other 50% of the people. Some of them want you to call them at a specific time and day, but don't want to book with a link because they'd rather have human engagement. Others prefer to self-serve and book meetings. And then the third type of person that I found is one who's still not quite convinced that this product or solution is for them, and so they have some questions. And so you always want to leave the door open if they don't want you to call them at a specific time or day, and if they don't want to book a meeting with a link, they would rather get a question answered. Always leave the door open so that they can basically get those questions answered before you call to action and try to start hard selling them. And so this is a solid template that anybody can use to just get these leads talking and telling you where they're at in the buyer's journey. So we're gonna move to the next step, which is where you basically set up Zapier. We'll get into setting up Zapier in a bit. And in the third step, which is the final one of creating a campaign, you basically tell our AI agent which channel you wanna do this prompt on. Now, my advice is always just choose basically every channel. The more that you have, the better the reply rate's gonna be, and you don't know which channel each lead is gonna be most responsive on. So it's best to do a sequence that runs through all three in order to maximize your replies. Now, the template I put in step one referenced a booking link. But if you don't want to have a booking link, you can turn it off on any one channel, or you can turn it off on all channels. I think it's a good idea for a form fill campaign that's trying to get meetings booked as the primary call to action to actually turn it on for every channel. But I just want you to know that you could actually turn it off if you ever wanted to. I did reference in the copy that there will be a booking link, and so that needs to be turned on if you want that booking link to be appended to the message. So this is basically how Pitchit works. It takes that script that we wrote in step one, and then it adjusts it for every channel, and it tells you what might be missing from each channel so that you could actually launch it across all three. And what you're noticing is that template doesn't work perfectly for any one of these channels, because for WhatsApp, we basically need to put it into the template section. And since WhatsApp messages have to be pre-approved, it's actually not a good idea to put dynamic content like first names, etc. there. So something simple. And then the second message is usually best to have like an unsubscribe comment or maybe some links to your website. So for more information, visit, and you can just put in like, let's just say pitchit.ai, right? So what happens in WhatsApp is it's gonna send a message that's a pre-approved template that's the bulk of what we asked, with one additional message going as a follow-up 2 or 3 minutes after the first one's delivered that basically is just a simple call to action. And this template will be pre-approved in WhatsApp, and it will be good to go. There will be a booking link included, and so if you wanted to envision what this message is going to look like in WhatsApp, it's effectively going to be the template we wrote in step one, plus a second message that says for more information, visit, and then a third message that has booking link appended and included. Now, inside of email, this actual copy is perfectly fine. There's really nothing that needs changed except for a subject line. So pitchit.ai, let's meet, something like that. The third one is text. And so if you're going to text somebody, I think a very important thing to keep in mind is very few people actually have greetings in text. So that's a really easy one to get rid of. We also have to be under 160 messages, or the message gets broken up depending on the carrier. They will or won't accept that. And so inside of text, I would actually think if your goal is to get a meeting booked and you have very limited copy space, just focus on the 2 primary calls to action and don't leave the door open for Q&A. And then simplify this so you can get rid of feel free to and just say select a time. And so this still gets the bulk of what we want of, is there a day or time that works for us to call you? And if it's easier, you can book a meeting using the link. And also comes in under 160. So this is basically how you can edit your copy for each of these channels so that it matches the medium. Obviously, email is the most robust. We can include the entire message and offer options to get into live Q&A. SMS is the shortest, and so we have to be very concise. Just keep in mind, people will still reply with questions here, but we don't have enough space in the copy to prompt them with all kinds of different options and outlets. And then WhatsApp is kind of in between for what you can do there. It's not as easy to attach things like you can in an email, but it definitely has unlimited message copy. And so there's differences between each of these channels, but Pitchit does let you edit. Once you're done, you click Pitchit, and then the campaign's ready to go.